Good evening YouTube, my name is John and welcome to the vlog. If you're new to this channel, you're very much welcome. So last time we've talked about the real number system, and for tonight we're going to focus on integers, particularly addition and subtraction. So before we crack on, massive thank you to our frontliners for saving lives against COVID-19. Thank you very much, frontliners. Also, massive shout out to these 4 ladies. So we have Ate Susan Trinidad from Susan's Kitchen for her delicious meals. Thank you very much, Ate Susan. We have Chanel Manzanilla for her Black Forest cake. Thank you very much. We have Grace Atwood for her Brazos de Mercedes. Ate Grace, thank you very much as well. And we have Sylvia Villatura for her Biko. Thank you very much, Ate Sylvia. So feel free to connect with them on Facebook. Also, massive shout out to my family and friends in TCG, Kuligligs, and Dickies, as well as to my subscribers. Thank you very much for your support, including Trending Pangkalawakan from Team Vitroso, Team PP, and Team Gigil. So guys, here we go. First, let's refresh what integers are. Okay guys, so let's refresh ourselves with the definition of integers. So these are numbers that can be written without a fractional or decimal component. Thus, 7, 0, and 7 are counted as integers as they've got no fractional or decimal component, while 7.7, 1/7, and the square root of 7 have fractional or decimal components. Therefore, they're counted as non-integers. So again guys, this is our number line with the 0 at the middle. Extending to your left, you have your negative numbers, while on your right, you have your positive numbers. Now let's proceed to the operations. Let's begin with addition. So let's start with addition. As a general rule for adding integers, you've got 2 rules. First, for like signs, and the second one is for unlike signs. First, we've got the like signs. So when adding integers with like signs, for example, both positive or both negative, so we should add the numbers and then copy the sign. On the other hand, for the unlike signs, for example, adding a positive number and a negative number, we just do the following. Subtract the numbers and copy the sign of the larger number. If the larger number has a positive sign, then the answer is positive. If the larger number has a negative sign, then the answer is negative. So let's have an example for adding integers with like signs. We have 4 plus 5. So let's add the numbers. 4 plus 5 is 9, and then copy the sign. So that's positive 4 and positive 5. The answer is positive. But in general, since we're talking about positive numbers, we don't normally have to write the positive sign. So we may write 9. Okay, I hope that's clear. Let's proceed to another example. So this time, we've got negative 4 plus negative 5. So these are 2 integers with like signs. We have negative 4 and negative 5. So as the rule says, add the numbers irregardless of the sign. So 4 plus 5, we've got 9. And then copy the sign because the integers have got like signs or similar signs. So we just copy the sign, the minus sign. So the answer is negative 9. So the third one, we have 11 plus 22. So add the numbers, the answer is 33. And then copy the sign, but you don't have to do that. So we have positive 33 or just 33. And finally, we've got negative 11 plus negative 22. So again, add the numbers regardless of the sign. So we have 11 plus 22, that is 33, yes. And then copy the sign because they have similar signs. Both have got minus sign. So we copy the minus sign. So the answer would be negative 33. Okay, is that clear? Let's proceed to the unlike signs. So for the unlike signs, we have to subtract the numbers and then copy the sign of the larger number. For example, 4 plus negative 5. So basically, we're adding positive 4 and negative 5. So we've got positive 4 and negative 5. And then subtract the numbers regardless of the sign. So 5 minus 4, you have 1. and then copy the sign of the larger number. Between 4 and 5, 5 is the larger number, and it's got the negative sign. Therefore, we put the negative sign before number 1. So our answer is -1. Is that clear? So should you have any concerns or questions, feel free to comment them below. Moving on to another example, you've got -4 plus 5. So basically -4 and +5. Therefore, these integers have got unlike signs. So subtract the numbers. 5 minus 4, you have 1. And then copy the sign of the larger number. So between 4 and 5, 5 is the larger number and it's not negative, it's positive. So our answer should be positive. But then again, you don't have to write the positive sign or the plus sign. You may just write 1. Okay? And then third example, we have -11 plus 22. So again, unlike signs, one is negative, one is positive. Just subtract the numbers. 22 minus 11 is 11. And then copy the sign of the larger number, which is 22. So the answer is positive 11, or you may just write 11. Okay, one more example. Yes, let's have 11 plus -22. So we're adding positive 11 and then -22, which are unlike. Okay, so again, subtract the numbers regardless of the sign. So 22 minus 11, you've got 11, and then copy the sign of the larger number. Between 11 and 22, 22 is larger, therefore we copy the negative sign or the minus sign. Our answer therefore is -11. Okay guys, I hope that's clear. Let's proceed to the next operation, subtraction. Let's go to subtraction. So again, we've got this general rule for subtraction for like signs and unlike signs. So for like or similar signs, when subtracting integers, we have to add the numbers and then copy the sign. Okay, so add the numbers regardless of the sign and then copy the sign. And then for unlike signs, we've got subtract the numbers and then copy the sign of the larger number. Okay, so it's quite similar with our addition rule. So let's move on to like signs. So again, we'll subtract the numbers and copy the sign of the larger number. Let's have an example. So we've got 5 minus 3, basic math. The answer is +2 because 5 is more than 3. Okay, so let's put +2, but you don't have to write the positive sign. So let's go to the next one. We've got 11 minus 22. So subtract the numbers. 22 minus 11 is 11. So how do we know the sign? So imagine that 11 has got a positive sign before it and then the same as 22. So take note of this. There's a negative sign and a positive sign. So remember, negative combined with positive is negative. Okay? So let's proceed. So 22 minus 11 is 11. So how do you know the sign? Copy the sign of the larger number. Between positive 11 and negative 22, the larger number is 22. So copy the sign negative and then your answer is negative. Okay, so -11. So again, negative combined with positive is negative, and then we copy the sign of the larger number, which is 22. That's why the answer is -11. Moving on to the third example, we've got 20 minus 40. So again, subtract the numbers. 40 minus 20 is 20. And then imagine 20 has got positive sign before it, and then 40 has got a positive sign before it as well. So again, combining negative and positive, we've got negative. And then compare. 40 is larger than 20. 40 has a negative sign, therefore our sign is -20. So now let's move to another example for subtracting integers with like sign. So there's just a tiny change with the rule. So this time you'll see 2 minus signs before the second number. So let's have this example. -4 minus -5. So basically you're still subtracting two integers but with like signs, and this time they're both negative. Remember this, you can see 2 minus signs before number 5. So change the 2 minus signs into a plus sign. Basically, if there are two negative signs there, then those would become a positive sign. or a plus sign. We have negative combined with another negative, that would be positive. Okay, so -4 plus 5. So now we can subtract the numbers regardless of the sign, just like what we've done with the addition rule. So 5 minus 4, you have 1, and then copy the sign of the larger number. So 5 or 4. The larger number is 5 and it's got a positive sign, so our answer is +1. So again, you may just write number 1. Okay, let's proceed with example number 2. We have -11 minus -22. So again, they are like signs. So you've got -11 and -22. So notice again the minus sign and the minus sign or negative sign before number 22. Just change those into a plus sign because negative combined with negative is positive. Okay, so now we can subtract the numbers. So we have 22 minus 11, 11. And then copy the sign of the larger number, and that's 22. 22 is larger than 11. So copy the positive sign. Your answer is +11, or just write 11. Okay, so let's move on. -20 minus -40. So again, you're subtracting -20 and -40. So what are we going to do next? So you can see the minus sign and then the negative sign before number 40. So change them into a plus sign. And then subtract the numbers. 40 minus 20, 20. And then copy the sign of the larger number. Which is larger, 40 or 20? 40. And what's the sign before 40? Positive. Therefore, write positive or just write 20. It doesn't matter, okay? So the answer is +20, but you don't have to write the sign. You may just write 20, okay? Okay, so let's go to subtracting integers with unlike or dissimilar signs. So we've got the following steps. Change the minus and the plus sign into a minus sign. That means negative combined with positive is negative. Okay? And then add the numbers and copy the sign, just like what we've done in addition. So example number 1, we're subtracting -4 and +5. So again, change the minus and the plus sign into a minus sign because negative combined with positive is negative. So now we can add the numbers just like in integer addition. So 4 plus 5 is 9 because they are now like sign, and then just copy the sign. So your answer is -9. So example number 2, you have -11 minus +22. So again, change the minus sign and the plus sign into a minus sign because negative combined with positive is negative. And then just add the numbers. 11 plus 22, you have 33, and then copy the sign because they're now similar signs or like signs. So your answer would be -33. And then last, you've got -8 minus +40. You're subtracting -8 and +40. And then combine the minus sign and the positive sign before 40. That will be negative. And then you can add the numbers. 8 plus 40, 48. And then copy the sign. -48. Okay guys, let's evaluate our understanding with the topic. Let's have an exercise. Okay, so let's proceed with the quiz. Number 1, 7 plus 20, basic math. You're adding two integers with a positive sign. So the answer is 27. +27, or just write 27. And then number 2, you have -4 plus 5. So subtract the numbers. 5 minus 4 is 1. And copy the sign of the larger number, which is 5. The answer is +1 or just 1. Number 3, 11 plus -22. So you can see a positive sign and a negative sign. Positive combined with negative is negative. So positive 11 minus 22. So 22 minus 11, you have 11, and copy the sign of the larger number, which is 22. So we have -11. Next, you've got -9 plus -10. So you can see a positive and a negative sign, combine them. Positive combined with negative is negative. Okay? So because they're now like signs, you can just add 9 and 10. 9 plus 10 is 19, and then copy the sign. And then number 5, we have 20 minus 7, basic math. The answer is 13, and it's positive because 20 is the larger number, which is positive. So imagine there's a positive sign before number 6, so let's subtract the numbers. 9 minus 6 is 3. And then between 6 and 9, 9 is the larger number, and 9 has got the negative sign. So our answer is negative 3. So number 7, 11 minus negative 22 equals. So you can see two negative signs. Negative combined with negative is positive. Then you can just add the numbers. So 11 plus 22, 33. And then next, 20 minus positive 50. So you can see negative and positive. Negative combined with positive is negative. So you can subtract. Imagine there's a positive sign before 20. So 50 minus 20 is 30. And then between 50 and 20, the larger number is 50, which has got a negative sign. So we copy the negative sign, which gives us negative 30. And lastly, we have negative 20 minus positive 50, or negative 20 minus 50. So combine negative and positive before number 50. So we have a negative and positive sign before number 50. Negative combined with positive is negative. So because they're now both negative, we can just add them. So 20 plus 50, you have 70, and copy the sign. Negative 70 is the answer. Okay? So did you get a perfect score? If yes, well done. If not, practice makes perfect. Okay guys, so we finished the first two operations in integers. I hope there's no information overload. Okay guys, this concludes our video for today. I hope everything's clear. If you got some questions or clarifications, violent reactions, just write them down on the comment section. Okay? If you like the content of this video, feel free to click the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for my future videos. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next two operations on integers. That's multiplication and division. For now, thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Bye!